Yeah, so the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced their 25 semifinalists for this year's class. So Julius Peppers and Antonio Gates are eligible for first ballot selections. What are your thoughts on those?
Okay, so this is why the Pro Football Hall of Fame, in my opinion, is the best of the Hall of Fames. 25 semifinalists. That list will be whittled down to 15 finalists. And then of that 15, 5 make it. And so we are going to do that ourselves right now. We will go through the 25 names. We will eliminate 10 right off the bat. And then from those 15 remaining, we're going to have some very hard choices. So I will do this as quickly as I can, but this is one of my favorite exercises. It also should be noteworthy for contemporary watching of football when you hear people throw around the term, oh, he's a future Hall of Famer. It is a god-dog difficult Hall of Fame to get into. So, going by position, there are no quarterbacks eligible of the semifinalists right now, so we can get rid of them. Running backs, Tiki Barber, easy elimination. Really good player, played in a big market. I understand, had a big name and some big moments. He is not a Hall of Famer. I'm surprised he was even a semifinalist. Eddie George, we're okay with him being a semi. We won't cut him right now. The numbers are good. His value to a really good team was great, and was, in my opinion, the most important offensive player on a Super Bowl team that came a yard short. We'll let him move on. Fred Taylor, really good player, not a Hall of Famer. Ricky Watters, really good player, not a Hall of Famer. Wide receiver, Anquan Bolden, awesome player. He gets cut. It's not even a question. Torrey Holt, who has been banging on the door repeatedly, has really eye-popping numbers. He'll move on to the semifinalist category. Andre Johnson, he is to me, what makes a Hall of Famer, one of the things is, were you in the discussion for the best in the league, the best, for multiple years? Andre Johnson absolutely was. He moves on. Steve Smith, overachiever, really good player. The numbers are better than you think. We'll advance him to the semifinalists. Hines Ward, absolutely not. I understand people loved his blocking and he was a champion. He's not a Hall of Famer. Reggie Wayne, he'll move on for now. Tight end, Antonio Gates. He has to move on as a semifinalist. Unbelievable numbers. Again, remember, we have to cut 10, then we have to cut another 10. Offensive line, Willie Anderson was a really good tackle for the Bengals, had a really good career, was not a Hall of Famer. Jari Evans, guard for the Saints forever. One of the best interior offensive linemen of his era. If I'm not mistaken, a member of the All-Decades team. He moves on. Now we're to the defensive side of the ball. Eric Allen, long career, good career, maybe even a great career. He's not a Hall of Famer. Rodney Harrison, he moves on to the next round. Was great with the Chargers, then won 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots, was awesome with them. He's a finalist. Darren Woodson. That guy's a Hall of Famer to me. Was awesome with the Cowboys, an all-decade team member, won 3 Super Bowls, one of the linchpins of their defense. To me, he's a Hall of Famer. He certainly moves on. Linebackers, London Fletcher, not a Hall of Famer. James Harrison, a Defensive Player of the Year, the single greatest play in Super Bowl history, a champion, he moves on. Patrick Willis, one of the greatest players, the best inside linebacker of his era. Now, it was a very short career, but he, to me, was a Hall of Fame player. He moves on. Defensive line, Jared Allen. Played for my Chiefs, was excellent. Played for the Vikings, was excellent. Great counting stats. Was never the best, second best, or third best at his position, he doesn't move on. Dwight Freeney, he absolutely does. Robert Mathis, who played alongside Dwight Freeney with the Colts, really, really good player, not a Hall of Famer. Julius Peppers, no doubt, one of the greatest players I've ever seen. He moves on. And then the specialist, Devin Hester, the single greatest kick returner and punt returner in NFL history, he must move on. So cut from this group are the following: Tiki, Fred Taylor, Ricky Waters, Anquan Bolden, Hines Ward, Willie Anderson, Eric Allen, London Fletcher, Jared Allen, Robert Mathis. Those are all great players. They're all cut. But now it gets damn near impossible. Our finalists are the following, and we can only include 5. And this is why, again, when people throw around, oh, he's a future Hall of Famer, are you sure about that? We can only include 5. Eddie George, Torrey Holt, Andre Johnson, Steve Smith, Reggie Wayne, Antonio Gates, Jari Evans, Rodney Harrison, Darren Woodson, James Harrison, Patrick Willis, Dwight Freeney, Julius Peppers, Devin Hester. It's so hard here.
That was
Eddie
15?
George is out. That's 15. And so...
Sorry, good.
That's 14. Okay, well then we can add... All right, then whoever I wouldn't have included... wouldn't have made it anyway. So I don't know who I left out, or if I didn't mention someone. Did I not say Antonio Gates? Maybe I didn't say Antonio Gates. My apologies. He's definitely on the very short list. I thought I counted this out properly. Maybe I'm wrong. Eddie George, you're out. Torrey Holt, who's been waiting forever, you're out. Reggie Wayne, you're out. Steve Smith, you're out. God dog it. Rodney Harrison, you're out. That then leaves us the following guys left: Andre Johnson, Antonio Gates, Jari Evans, Darren Woodson, James Harrison, Dwight Freeney, Julius Peppers, Devin Hester. Who are the absolute, no doubt, must-have in? Julius Peppers is a no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer. He is in my opinion. Andre Johnson was either the best or the second best wide receiver in the NFL with terrible quarterbacks for a half decade. He's got to be in. Patrick Willis, one of the greatest inside linebackers in NFL history. He's got to be in. Devin Hester, the single greatest kick returner in NFL history. He's got to be in. That's 4. Andre, Patrick Willis, Julius Peppers, Devin Hester. That means we have 1 spot available for the following guys: Jari Evans, one of the greatest interior linemen ever, an all-decade team member. Antonio Gates, one of the 4 greatest pass-catching tight ends ever. Darren Woodson, a linchpin of a dynasty. James Harrison, a defensive player of the year who had the greatest play in NFL history, in Super Bowl history, and Dwight Freeney, whose numbers are beyond belief, and I believe was an all-decade team member. Let me check. Was an all-decade team member. This is why this is the best Hall of Fame and the hardest Hall of Fame. I watched Dwight Freeney his whole career. The Colts defense was built upon the idea Peyton will get us a lead, and then Dwight Freeney will strip sack the opponent and put the game away. He's in. So our 5 Hall of Famers, if it were up to us, would be Devin Hester, Julius Peppers, Dwight Freeney, Patrick Willis, and Andre Johnson. with the hardest cuts for this year's class being James Harrison, Darren Woodson, Jari Evans, and Antonio Gates. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.